All right, guys, what's going on? Breaking news! Breaking news, man. Toronto Raptors have decided on their new head coach. Now, again, I probably got to hear his name a couple more times before I completely dive all the way in on knowing and how to pronounce his name correctly. But Toronto, according to ESPN, let's go to the source. I don't want anybody to say I'm making this up. Toronto Raptors are hiring Memphis Grizzlies assistant Darko Rajakovic. I definitely messed that up. As the franchise new head coach, the Raptors offered a job on Saturday. The sides are finalizing the contract that expected to be complete soon. We're going to call him Raj. Raj, a native of Serbia, emerged out of an exhausting process to sell Raptors president Masai Ujiri, general manager Bob Weston, on his candidacy to replace Nick Nurse. Raj hiring leaves NBA with no more head coach openings. Because we had mentioned earlier that the Raptors were the last team to make a decision. Raj arrived from Serbia in 2012 as a G League head coach for OKC before advancing on to OKC bench and making stop with the Phoenix Suns and the Grizzlies. He eventually elevated into Taylor Jenkins' top assistant with the Grizzlies. The Raptors wanted a coach whom they believe could coach a contending team should the franchise stay on its current path with veterans or rebuilding roster should they eventually transfer the roster to youngest player and draft asset. Golden State's Kenny Atkinson and Milwaukee Charlie with other coaches given serious consideration, as well as Sergio, who I thought was gonna get it. Yeah, man, this one here. I love it. I love it, man. I love it. I freaking love it. And I'm gonna stand on my grounds of I'm glad they got it done before the draft. Because now if it's a guy out there that he really, really likes, that he know he can go get in the draft at their position, then he can make it and he can have his stamp on it. I'm excited, man. You got to look at, it's not like and sometimes you think of Memphis. I know when I just told the missus upstairs, her first reaction was like, oh God, I don't want none of that Memphis craziness around the Raptors. But you got to look at him on the court. On the court. What these players do off the court and all of that extra, that's on the players. I'm not judging them on that. I'm looking at him as a young guy with an innovative mind that's offensive minded apparently. And you know, I did a video on him before. And I really like, you got to think now, he's part of a staff. He was part of a staff that gave you Ja Morant. They gave you, what I love is player development. You look at Desmond Bane. Nobody thought Desmond Bane was going to be what Desmond Bane turned into. Jaren Jackson, defensive player of the year last year. Ja Morant elevated. You look at his shooting stroke as it started to elevate and get better. Now I think it took a little dip last year. I'm talking about from the three, by the way. It took a little dip last year, but it got better. It got better since the time he came into the league. And for him to have elevated himself up to I forgot the Memphis head coach, but to be his top assistant. And for me this fall clearly in the realm of in Masai we trust, right? Because I'm not going to sit up here and be like, I want Sergio to get it. That's why my favorite to get it was. I'm about to make a video that said, is Rico Hines a dark horse in this race? I was looking at all of that. Now it's going to be interesting over the next couple of weeks to see how this staff develop, see the people that he want to keep, the people he want to let go, what his mindset is for this team. But it's going to be interesting to see how the players adjust too, because now you got an offensive mind on that bench. And let me see if I get anything else. But again, and it's some quick that I hit right here. It says, during Summer League, Raj primarily challenged Desmond Bane to grow as a ball handler. In his third NBA season, Bane assist numbers went from 2.7 to 4.4 this year. Taylor Jenkins, that was the coach. His basketball knowledge is very good, especially on the offensive end, which again is a complete not a complete different thing from Nick Nurse, but Nick Nurse is defensive minded. Now, but I also feel like Toronto, their base, their team, they know how to play defense. That's been beat into their head. They can play defense. So now, but they need offense to come along with it. You bring in an offensive-minded coach that can really drill that offense in. I'm going to continue to read this. His basketball knowledge is very good, especially on the defensive end. His schemes and the way he reads the game is pretty different. Yeah, I don't want to hear about nobody's friendship. But at the end of the day, man, I'm excited about this. I think it's the new look Raptors, right? Like, wait, we about to see motions and offensive scheming and planning and nah, man, I'm uber excited about this. My thing just went crazy on me. Okay, what just happened here? Sorry, guys. Anyway, but yeah, it is crazy, man. Like I'm overexcited. I'm overexcited about this because I felt like this was the breath of fresh air that the Memphis Grizzlies need. Memphis Grizzlies. See, I'm reading the damn thing. This is the breath of fresh air that the Toronto Raptors needed. They play a style of basketball that's hard-nosed, grit, and they're going to continue to need that. But I'm expecting him to inject some fun into it. I'm expecting him to inject some fun. Like, I mean, hell, we all watched the games together. It was like every shot used to be so hard. Every shot. It wasn't too many times where they would just isolate, like where the players ran so crisp that boom, somebody got an open shot. That was rare. That was rare. And I think a lot of times when they were open, it was such a surprise that, you know. But I'm excited, man. I'm gonna continue to deep dive on him. I'm gonna do a thorough analysis on him, see what he's about, see what he's made of. But on the surface so far, I like the move. I'm not gonna lie, like I said again, he was not my first pick. He wasn't. But I love the fact that they're bringing in someone who's offensive mind, and if you believe if it's in Masai you trust, do you know they went through an extensive process? They went through and checked every box. Because making no mistake, Masai want to win. He want this team to win. He ain't, as he said before, I ain't coming to win one championship. We want to win multiple championships. It's about winning. And so it's going to be interesting now they got their coach to see which players are going to stay, which players are going to go, and who he see as the person that can fit his system and what he want to run. I'm excited. Raptor Nation. Darko Rajakovic is your new head coach. I'm going to learn his name, I promise. But let me know in the comments, how do y'all feel about this one, man? This is a big one. This is a big one. The future of the franchise resting on this man's shoulder, along with those players as well. As I love to say, it's go time.